I guess in my experience, I see systems integrators. Some of them do a really good job of kind of, this is the catalog of what we've done. We've got standard. If the customer doesn't have standards, this is the standard on how we go develop things. This is how we go develop the demo so people can understand kind of the look and feel and things like that. And I think really good systems integrators kind of have that built so you can go showcase what someone is going to get if they don't have a standard themselves. Having said that, it scares me every time I walk into a client. So I in the past have done some amount of like development from we don't have anything. And my current state, most of the time is people have a problem with the system and I'm coming in to go give them an understanding of what's going on with the entirety of the manufacturing as a system. And so every time I see things that aren't pretty screens, right? Every time that I see that something is like on this section of machine is one look and feel, and then like 3 rows down, it's like similar, but maybe the font is different and it's definitely different sizes and somehow it looks different. And then, half a line over is something that's like completely different, right? So we're like light scale on one and we're like dark scale on the other. And so I asked the question of, do you guys have standards documents? And Addison, every time I walk into a facility like that, the answer is no. Why would we need a standards document? We paid someone to go ahead and do this. So I would say when we talk about that, yes, having version control is important, but having standards documents. And if end users are listening, one thing that I wish more people would take the time is to understand what is important and to have a conversation with someone about what is important. And can we go build our architecture and can we go build our standards docs, however we want to call the standards doc, but let's go build the standards documents. And this is what I want my graphical interfaces to look like. And these are the symbols I want to use. If we're borrowing symbols from a different software, we're rebuilding them into whatever software we want, kind of any of those things, but to go pick those standards, because that makes everything easier during the design and build, because you don't have Addison and like 20 other people all slightly building something slightly different. And then you get to a screen and you're like, but guys, they're different when I switch from one to the other. And you're like, yeah, there was no standards or the standards were so loosely defined, we developed within the standard. So I would say, in my opinion, or I guess in my hope, the systems integrators of the future are going to go as much as possible, kind of force on we're going to do an architecture. And then beyond we're going to do an architecture, we've got to go do all of these other things in order to help make sure that this system is successful. I think that is exceptionally important to the success of many of those different organizations.